Look the part, play the part. Yakko sponsors Vanarama National League on BT Sport.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Vanarama National League highlight show here on BT Sport. This week our cameras were at Prenton Park to see the big Anglo-Welsh derby between two of the biggest clubs, Tranmere and Wrexham. But before we see that action, here's what else is coming up in the show. Is it sayonara to McNamara, or is a draw enough to keep his job at York City? Paul Doswell wins his 500th game in charge of Sutton United. And a 10-match unbeaten run sees Barrow's boss beam with pride. After a 6-1 humiliation at the hands of Guiseley in midweek, the York City board announced that if the team failed to gain a positive result at Braintree, manager Jackie McNamara would resign. An incredible ultimatum providing added drama to the clash at Cressing Road. Needing a win to seemingly secure McNamara's future, his players made the perfect start. Just 5 minutes gone when Simon Haslop fired past Will Puddy to open the scoring. Braintree made their own managerial change in the last fortnight to bringing in Hakan Hayrettin. 2 defeats out of 2 under his tenure, and they were so nearly 2 down when Danny Gilbraith struck agonisingly against the post. York were without an away win in their last 29 trips in all competitions. And they had that sinking feeling again when Haslop was adjudged to have brought down Simeon Akinola. Penalty to Braintree. Akinola's spot kick was superbly saved by York keeper Kyle Leatheringham. His first major contribution of the day. It wouldn't be his last. Hayrettin's team turned up the heat after the interval. Leatheringham was on hand to deny Shay Isaac and Oliver Muldoon. The visitors came into this game without a win in 6 matches, and they were hanging on for 3 points. Michael Cheek was somehow kept out by a combination of Leatheringham and his defenders as it remained 1-0. It was a man-of-the-match display from the York City stopper. Cheek again finding himself with a clear sight of goal. Leatheringham again slamming the door shut. With 2 minutes left to play, Braintree were given another golden chance to equalise when Cheek went down under the challenge of Clovis Camjo, a second penalty awarded to the home side. Substitute Lee Barnard had only been on the field for 2 minutes. He assumed responsibility to secure a point for Braintree. So despite his team's best efforts, McNamara's future remains unclear.
I thought they fought right to the end. Obviously they're angry with the decisions that went against them. I think he could play a lot better, especially in the second half, despite the pitch not being the best here. But it was important to try and play in the right areas. We got opportunities to do that, but the second half I thought we got too deep and ended up defending a lot of throw-ins and corners and free kicks, and ultimately a free kick near the end and the referee decides to give them a penalty for some reason to be the star of the show, and obviously it's cost us in the end.
Midweek the club released a statement saying if the result wasn't positive you'd resign. Do you consider this a positive result?
Again, I think I'll go speak to the chairman and we'll let you know what the outcome of that is.
In the cutthroat world that is non-league football, Sutton United celebrated a landmark day for their manager Paul Doswell, his 500th game in charge, having been appointed in May 2008. Visitors Woking were keen to spoil the party and register their first away win, but they were behind with a quarter of the game played. Rory Deacon cutting inside to fire the hosts in front at Gander Green Lane. Doswell's taken Sutton back to the 5th tier, where they've more than held their own this season. They took a 2-0 lead into half-time. Deacon this time turning provider as his cross fell into the path of Ross Stern, who doubled the home side's advantage. Game over then, only a couple of minutes into the second half. Nicky Bailey sneaking in to find the back of the net for the 4th time this campaign. 5 minutes later, former Woking striker Craig McAllister was on hand to power a header home. Gary Hill's team did get a consolation goal, Matt Tubbs making it 2 for the club since moving on loan. All smiles though for Sutton and the longest serving manager in the National League.
Perfect day really. Turned up unaware that it was my 500th game in charge of the club. Got some lovely presentations, so that was nice, a nice surprise. And then to win 4-1 in a local derby game against against a side that are our rivals and have been in the past was a great day.
Two teams with playoff ambitions met on Tyneside. Dover suffered a 5-0 demolition at the hands of Chester in their last away game, but had an excellent recent record against Gateshead, winning the last 5 fixtures. And the visitors almost gained an immediate advantage, top scorer Ricky Miller striking the upright. Dover did break the deadlock 10 minutes before half-time. Jack Parkinson hitting the inside of the post and finding the back of the net for the first time this season. But just seconds after the restart, the hosts were level. Sam Jones forcing a save out of Mitch Walker before Wes York scored at home for the first time since the opening day of the campaign. And the game was turned on its head before the interval. Jones wriggling free in the Dover area to score for the second game in a row. 2-1 Gateshead at the break. And 2-1 became 3-1 in some style. Paddy McLaughlin picked the ball up in the centre circle and he just kept going and going and going. A super solo goal from McLaughlin. Neil Aspin's team now fully in control. Dover did succeed in halving the deficit as Miller managed to get his name on the score sheet. 10 goals this season for Miller, who's now the joint top scorer in the National League. But once again, the visitors were vulnerable to an immediate response. Jones scoring his second, firing spectacularly past Walker. 4-2 Gateshead, and they had the chance to make it 5 from the penalty spot after Niall Bell was bundled over. On a hat-trick, Jones could only rattle the crossbar, but it couldn't spoil an impressive victory for Gateshead.
Holker Street's become a fortress for Barrow under Paul Cox. It's 15 matches without defeat. Their last loss was in February, a daunting task for Maidstone United, who had suffered defeat in their last 2. Exactly a year ago was the last time Paul Turnbull scored for Macclesfield. He won't forget his first Barrow goal anytime soon. Cox's men saw the game off in a 3-minute spell around the hour mark. First, Liam Hughes' cross was kept alive by Richie Bennett, allowing Jordan Williams to finish. Then Bennett broke through to make it 6 for him this season and confirm a 10-match unbeaten run for Barrow, the best in the National League.
I think the pleasing thing today was we played some good stuff. We looked relaxed in possession. And I don't think anyone could really argue if we'd have probably won the game 5 or 6. We created some good chances. But look, we've got a big week coming up. Boys' feet are firmly back on the floor. And we'll build into next week with a focus and quietly confident.
In what's sure to be a topsy-turvy title race, Forest Green Rovers regained first place with a 4-0 victory at Aldershot in midweek. Mark Cooper's men would have fancied their chances against struggling North Ferriby, playing in green and white. Steve Howsham's team have scored just 6 goals all season, so the writing was on the wall when Ethan Pinnock flicked in his first goal in a Forest Green shirt just a couple of minutes before half-time. North Ferriby had found the back of the net just once in their previous 9 matches. Darren Carter somehow denied them an equaliser as he cleared from under his own bar. The points were safe for the league leaders on 75 minutes. Liam Noble's corner headed in by Charlie Clough as Forest Green was set to make it 6 games unbeaten. The visitors added some gloss to the scoreline in the last minute. Elliot Freer hitting the woodwork, substitute Christian Doidge making it 3-0. Rovers stay top, but it's not enough to satisfy their manager.
I thought we were rubbish today. I thought North Ferriby were a bit unlucky today. Difficult place to play. You know, it's not a lot of atmosphere, and it's a difficult place for teams. I'm sure they'll take points off people here, and we're just pleased we've come out of it with a 3-0 win. But we didn't probably deserve to win by 3 goals, if I'm honest.
Defeat at Torquay on Tuesday had seen Dagenham and Redbridge move off top spot. John Still's team were looking to get back on track against an Eastleigh side unbeaten in 9 since the appointment of Ronnie Moore. The Daggers had failed to register a goal in their last 2 matches. Eastleigh keeper Ryan Clark had to be at full stretch to deny skipper Luke Howell. The hosts were almost in front when Ryan Bird's header came off the bar. Moore said earlier in the week he wouldn't sell starman Luke Coulson for £1 million. It was Coulson's effort that was parried to safety by Elliot Justin. It was so nearly the visitors who opened the scoring. Jordan Maguire drew with the initial strike. Howell should have done better with the follow-up as the game was goalless at the break. Eastleigh continued to pressurise in the second half, striker Mikhail Mandron unable to make clean enough contact with the ball. But it was Still's men who snatched victory with just over a quarter of an hour to go. Matt Robinson with the through ball, Corey Whiteley applying the finish. A precious 3 points for Dagenham and Redbridge to keep pace with Forest Green.
They're really, really pleased. I think I know both teams had 1 or 2 missing, but I thought we were really young. Really, really young. And I thought that we played really well today. I thought it was really competitive. I thought we played some good football. And we've done it against, in front of a good side. So you're always pleased when you win, but you're always a bit more pleased if you know it's against a good side.
Mickey Mellon's appointment as Tranmere Rovers boss commanded the headlines ahead of the Birkenhead club's cross-border rivalry against Gary Mills's Wrexham. The former Shrewsbury boss and former Rovers player returned to the club on Thursday after Gary Braben's departure on the 18th of September. Watching this one, Steve Bauer and Adam Virgo.
What can Tranmere conjure up from the corner? A little training ground move. Jennings. That was well worked. And it was saved in the end by Jalal.
It certainly was off the training ground. Equi, and he chose the wrong angle to go for the near post, but it's still a good save from Jalal.
Jordan Evans with the cross. McNulty with the challenge. Wrexham wanted a handball there against the Tranmere defender. And this is Ben Tollett. He's away from Rob Evans. He might fancy a go as well. Goodness me, what a strike from Ben Tollett. The woodwork to Wrexham's rescue.
Just strikes it brilliantly past Jalal. Keeper's absolutely beaten. Just hope that it smacks the post or goes wide. A clean handball just before that from McNulty. You can see clearly hitting his right hand.
And he knew he'd get a terrific reception. Some fans have gone to great lengths to show their affection for Mickey Mellon. Creativity is not lost on the Saturday morning. Ben Sharif's foul. Tranmere's free kick.
Sometimes just take a quick free kick. Every single free kick they've had from deep, they send the big men up. This is what Wrexham want, to get themselves marked early.
Ridehouse to take. Richie Sutton's header back across. Oh, is it an own goal? It is. A little fortune for Tranmere. Curtis Till and Jalal, the goalkeeper, with the breakdown in communication. The Wrexham mistake results in the first goal and the Mickey Mellon and Tranmere lead.
And Curtis Till is letting his goalkeeper know that this could be his mistake. Great play there from Sutton. He heads it back in. I mean, for me, that's the goalkeeper's ball. He throws it at Tilt afterwards. Gary Mills' reaction straight after that said it all, hands on his head.
Well, it's not a moment that Jalal or Tilt will want to see again, or indeed Gary Mills. Wrexham staring a 6th league defeat of the season in the face. Osborne into Cook. Can he seal it? Still Cook. Yes, he can. Andy Cook's 7th goal of the season brings a huge smile to Mickey Mellon's face, because his first game in charge of his former club is going to end with 3 points and a derby win.
Well, this is what sometimes you need to do, is grind out results and pick up 3 points when you haven't played well. Clearly see Edwards playing Cook on sides and throwing bodies forward at this time of the game, which you fully expect Wrexham to try and do. And that really is now game, set, match for Mickey Mellon in his first game in charge with 3 points.
It's almost like managing a team that all your mates support, because the amount of people that have came the day that I've known from the past and ex-players, it's been terrific, and it's exactly how I believed I would feel, and one of the reasons why I wanted to come was because of how I feel now, because I want to win it and win games for all of them.
I think it was tough on my players today. It's taken a mistake for them to score. We've had a good shape about us. We've worked really, really hard. I was pleased with them today. You know, the second goal, forget that. That's my fault because I told us to gamble. So, you know, it's a game that's changed by a mistake, really.
Macclesfield's recent run of 6 wins from their last 8 matches had lifted them into the playoff places, but they knew it wouldn't be easy against a Boreham Wood side unbeaten away all season. It was the visitors who came flying out of the blocks. Morgan Ferriby went past John McComb before firing over. Moments later, the away team came even closer to taking the lead. Bruno Andrade's shot deflected off George Pilkington, but Scott Flinders adjusted his feet well to ensure a goalless end to the first half. 20 minutes after the break, John Askey introduced David Fitzpatrick, and it didn't take long for the left-back to make an impact as he cynically pulled Andrade as he headed for goal. Penalty, Boreham Wood. Kenny Davis was the man who stepped up to send Flinders the wrong way. Boreham Wood's solid defence have conceded only 6 away from home. A key part of that backline's been Danny Woodard's, and the former Tranmere player sealed victory when he stooped to meet Andrade's corner. And in the dying minutes, Ferrier almost added some gloss to the scoreline as the powerful frontman held off 5 Macclesfield defenders, but couldn't convert with just Flinders to beat. Luke Garrard's side's impressive record on the road continues. Macclesfield lose for just the second time in 9 games.
High-flying Lincoln were just a point off top spot when they travelled to Hayes Lane to face Bromley. Both sides would have been in confident mood after picking up back-to-back wins in a previous 7 days. But it was the hosts who made the brighter start. Defender Rob Swain connecting well with this volley, which Paul Farman was equal to. Winger Harry Anderson scored the decisive goal in Lincoln's 2-1 midweek win at Wrexham. The man on loan from Peterborough was once again on the score sheet when he broke the deadlock moments after half-time with that low strike. And the away side's lead would have been doubled were it not for the brilliance of Alan Julian in the Bromley goal, who showed great reflexes to keep out Jack Muldoon. The importance of that save was realised on 65 minutes as West Ham Academy graduate Blair Turgott cut inside to drill home his 4th of the campaign to bring the sides level. In the end, it was Neil Smith's side who maybe should have snatched all 3 points. First, Tobisho Silva somehow failed to connect with substitute Daniel Ajikaye's low cross. Ajikaye then himself raced through on goal, but was denied by Farman to ensure both sides ended the day with a point apiece. Lincoln dropped to 3rd, but 7 points in 7 days has seen Bromley pull 8 points clear of the relegation zone.
We'll take a point. You know, it's been a tough start to the season. It's 15 games in just over 2 months, so it's been a lot of games for the players. We now get a chance to put the lead to bed and turn our focus and our energy to the FA Cup and for us Guiseley next Saturday.
Aldershot's 8-match unbeaten run was emphatically ended with a 4-0 loss on Tuesday to Forest Green. They looked to get back among the points against a Solihull outfit that were on the right side of a 4-0 result midweek, comfortably seeing off Southport live on BT Sport. In a game with few clear-cut chances, the breakthrough came after 64 minutes when Shamir Fenelon, on as a sub just 3 minutes earlier, fired past Nathan Vaughan into the Solihull goal. With 10 minutes to go, the points were secured. Jim Kellerman found himself with time and space on the right, picking out Scott Rendell to double the lead. That's Rendell's 4th of the season and first from open play since August. The 3 points push Gary Waddock's team up to 6th, just outside the playoffs on goal difference.
The league's bottom 2 met at Nethermoor Park as Southport travelled to Guiseley, knowing a win would see them leapfrog their fellow strugglers. Adam Lockwood's side picked up their first win of the season in Tuesday's 6-1 demolition of York City. Jake Cassidy scored the hosts' opening goal that night and almost did so again after just 5 minutes when his effort cannoned off the post. The 23-year-old only signed for the West Yorkshire club last week. He did make it 2-2 for his new club when he eventually broke the deadlock minutes after half-time. Steve Burr's side were convincingly beaten 4-0 at Solihull in midweek, but they managed to claw their way back into this game with 20 minutes remaining. The home defence failed to clear their lines after a scramble in the box before Jamie Allen volleyed in to draw his side level. But sensing the 3 points were still up for grabs, Lockwood introduced experienced striker Michael Rankin, and he repaid the manager's faith after 60 seconds, nodding home after good work from Adam Boyes. And after Will Hatfield was brought down in the box by Josh Thompson, Rankin was handed the chance to seal the victory. But the on-loan Fulham keeper Magnus Norman guessed correctly to deny the big striker. But the home side did hold on to record back-to-back victories for the first time in a year to move off the bottom of the table.
Chester are one of the league's form teams, unbeaten in 6 without conceding a single goal in that period. They look to extend that run against a Torquay side who could only name 3 subs because of injuries and suspensions. It was the team on a roll that took the lead midway through the first half after Craig Marm was brought down in the box by Joe Ward. Elliot Jarrell failed to convert from the spot, but Ryan Lloyd was on hand to follow up. The solitary goal enough to give John McCarthy's side all 3 points and extend that impressive run to 7.
The work rate of my players is unbelievable. They've got a shape and a system that they believe in, that we've given them, but it's quite basic, it's not complicated, but their endeavour to work to that and to commit to it and not let one of their teammates down is outstanding. It's just a very simple formula with an unbelievable work ethic that my players are creating and creating an atmosphere and a real feel-good factor in the fans now. We're starting to feel really proud about their team.
Well, despite that narrow win for Chester, a galvanised Gateshead has forced them into 11th after they ran out 4-2 victors over Dover Athletic in 9th. Forest Green Rovers extend their lead at the top to 2, but closest challengers Dagenham and Redbridge got back to winning ways at the expense of Ronnie Moore's Eastleigh. Lincoln, Barrow and Macclesfield make up the rest of the chasing pack, but wins for Tranmere and Aldershot mean they lurk just outside the playoff places. Guiseley lift themselves off the foot of the table after back-to-back wins for the first time this year. Their 2-1 win over Southport meant Steve Burr's side replaced them as the bottom club on goal difference. Woking hovered just above the drop zone after a 4-1 defeat at the hands of Sutton United. But what does the future hold for York City and Jackie McNamara? Sitting at 19th, is a draw away to Braintree Town enough for him to stay as boss, or will he become the 6th manager in the league to lose his job? Only time will tell. Just before we go, mark the 29th of October in your diary as our next live and exclusive Vanarama National League match comes from Holker Street as high-flying Barrow welcome Ronnie Moore's Eastleigh to Cumbria. That's from midday on BT Sport 1 and on our glorious 4K UHD channel. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.
Look the part, play the part. Yakko sponsors Vanarama National League on BT Sport.